everyone. I was feeling inspired today to do an improvisational guided meditation. This week before the solstice is a great time for focusing on manifestation and setting intentions. The power is very high right now in terms of having your intentions come to fruition. So I figured we might as well make use of that energy. On the solstice, we have Jupiter and Saturn conjunct to form the Christmas star. And these are just powerful energies in general, very powerful. And this is a really wonderful time to get in sync with your life purpose and also to decide what you want moving forward. We've had a very challenging year this year. I think many of us have learned many lessons. And so during this meditation today, I want to integrate the lessons from this year, and I also want to put intentions forward. Meditation is such a wonderful time to do that. So I hope that this meditation helps you along on your path. What I'm going to do today is I did put a little bit of forethought into it, silently connecting and finding inspiration for it. And I'm going to use the wishing well metaphor, of depositing into a wishing well, and also and having those wishes sort of come to fruition. That was the metaphor that came to me, and I got a little bit interested in wishing wells as that inspiration came forward. So I just did a little bit of research, very quick, and because I was kind of wondering where did this whole idea of wishing wells even come from. And I guess it came from the Celts and Druids, and they would do this thing where they would, deposit coins into the wishing well, make wishes, just as the story goes, or the idea goes, thinking their wishes would come true. And the idea behind it being that water is such a source of life, and so you deposit your wishes into the water, and the water brings it forward. Also, I guess, in depositing copper and silver into the wishing wells, these were actually wells used for water. As people did that, they actually found that people who did that had better health. And I guess that copper and silver actually do something to kill bacteria or make the water more healthy for drinking. So people who actually deposited their wishes into the wishing well actually seemed healthier and to do better. So so that reinforced your idea of the wishing well working in many ways. So I love the metaphor. We're going to use it today. So enjoy the meditation. So and there's Olaf sitting in the window just above me. Maybe I can tilt this up in case you like cats, like I do. All right, let's begin. So just get comfortable on your meditation cushion or in your seat, or get comfortable on the bed that you're lying on. And let your breath deepen and slow. Taking breaths at your own pace. Letting breath go to places within your lungs and even in your body that it hasn't gone to recently. Letting your muscles get softer and softer on every out-breath. And I want you to envision yourself walking along a path, and you're approaching a gate. And this is going to be a gate to a garden. And this garden is symbolic of your heart center. And this is what I do when I want to get into my heart space, which, you know, I often do if I need guidance in some sort of way. So envision this gate before you and let this gate be a beautiful gate. This gate can look however you wish it to look. Perhaps this gate has vines growing up and all around it. Perhaps it's made of gold. Whatever feels right for you. And I want you to enter the gate, symbolic of entering into your heart center. And as you enter this gate, you enter into gardens, beautiful gardens. They can look however you wish them to look. They can be well manicured, or they can be wild. Lots and lots of flowers of different sorts. If you have a hard time visualizing, it's okay. There's no pressure. Just follow the narrative and just be totally easy on yourself. Just trust that whatever comes up is just fine. And in this garden, there is a wishing well. Beautiful old-fashioned well. It's not just the kind that people have, you know, as ornaments in their yard. This one actually works. A bucket and all, all at the top of the wishing well. This well can look however feels right for you. You know, mine is made of stone and has moss growing along the side. It can look however you wish it to look. Could be gold again if you wanted it to be. And I want you to think about this past year of 2020 and some of the amazing lessons that you have learned over this past year. They could be lessons of sovereignty in terms of making yourself happy no matter what is going on around you. You know, being the master of your own thoughts, perceptions, and emotions. Knowing that you are the creator of your own life no matter what is going on around you and can be protected in that. Could be about letting go of attachments. We all have attachments to things, and we've all had to let things go this year and find happiness despite what those attachments were. And letting go of attachments. Could be about being grateful for what it is that you have. Could be about self-development. Could be about greater connection with spirit. Just think of some of those amazing lessons. And I want you to look down into your palm of your hand in this meditation, and you'll see that there are coins within your palm. And we're going to let each coin represent one of the lessons that you learned this year. Could have been adaptability. That one just popped into my head. How adaptable you can be. And so you look at these coins, thinking of the lessons that you learned, you know, sovereignty, adaptability, letting go of attachments, personal growth and development, growth in terms of your connection to spirit, God, universe, and whatever other myriad of lessons you learned in this last year. This hand full of coins, and I want you to lovingly and gently toss them into the wishing well. Could be one by one or all together. Hearing a gentle kerplunk as they hit the water below. And as we do this, you're integrating these lessons into your heart. Again, this garden is symbolic of your heart center. So integrate these lessons of 2020 into the heart center. One by one or all together. Knowing that as you do this, that you're an expanded being. You've expanded and grown. And you're at a whole other place than where you were a year ago, and you did this very quickly. You know, over like 9 months. And I honor you, honor yourself for this. Massive amounts of spiritual growth. You might feel a gratefulness within your heart center as you do this, as I do, or maybe not. You might feel something totally different. That's totally fine. And now we are approaching 2021, and you know, we've had such an interesting year. And as we approach this solstice on the 21st, I have a sense that there's going to be a lightening, sense of a new journey moving forward. And so I want you to look at that bucket that is hanging over that well, over the water. And I want you to start pulling the rope, or letting go of the rope rather, that lets that bucket down into the water. That water that is filled with all of your lessons from the year that have been integrated into the heart. See that bucket, or hear that bucket, or feel that bucket going down. You might hear it going down, down, down into the well until it hits the water within the well. And before you draw this bucket up, I want you to think of your livelihood, or it could be your livelihood, like what you do for work. It could be what gives you purpose. It could be, if you're retired or whatever, it could be how you fill your days that gives you purpose. It could be what you desire to do to fulfill your purpose. And I want you to think, before we pull that bucket up, of what it is that you desire for that aspect of your life in the coming year. I want you to think what it would be like to have this aspect of your life be the way that you desire it. How would you feel? How would you feel in your heart? What would you see on a daily basis if you had this thing? What kinds of things would you see around you? Who would you see? What would you hear as you were doing this thing? Would you taste or smell anything? What kinds of things would you touch? And what would that feel like? What kind of experiences would you have in doing this desired outcome for this aspect of your life in the next year? What kind of experiences would you have? And what would be the results, the desired results? And now that you've envisioned that, I want you to envision that thing being in the bucket, that the bucket's gone into the water and has picked up this aspect in the bucket. And we're going to have to use our imagination a little bit because I know it's not actually physical, but envision it being embodied in the water that that bucket picks up. And you start drawing up that rope, drawing up that bucket. And that bucket comes up from the well. And you take that bucket once it gets to the top. And I want you to carry that bucket to within your garden. And what you're going to do with that bucket, this bucket that's filled with this beautiful dream of yours, hold that bucket and just realize, see what it's like to have it within your field, have this thing. And I want you to look out over your gardens. And there are many different flowers out within your gardens. And I want you to walk over to whichever flowers you feel called to go to. And I want you to notice what kind of flower it is. And it can be a kind of flower, or it could just be a certain color of flower that pops out to you, either one. And I want you to lovingly take this bucket and water the flowers within your garden, the type of flower or color that you have just seen. Watering these flowers, and immediately the flowers look even more vital and more open and more alive and fragrant and beautiful. And now we're going to take this thing, this life aspect that you desire, and we're going to ask that your guides and that spirit give you the sign of this flower or this color flower as you get closer and closer to this goal, like almost as a signpost that you're going in the right direction, that you see this color flower, or you see this flower itself. It's a signpost that you're getting closer and closer. We have spirit and your guides for that sign to be a signpost for you. And then you walk back over to this well. And again, you drop this bucket down, down, down into the well for another thing. And the bucket hits the water and gets submerged. And this time the bucket catches something else. And this thing is going to be something that you desire for your family. Could be a new home, it could be a material thing, could be, a pool, or could be a feeling. It could be, peace within the family, or it could be more connection. Could be a combo of those things. Whatever it is that you desire for your family, that bucket catches within the water. Again, using your imagination here a little bit, because I know it's not actually physical. And I want you to envision this thing that you desire, what it would be like to have it, where you would go, if anywhere, if you did have it. Maybe you'd be at home. What kind of experiences would you have if you had this thing? How you would feel within if you had this thing? The kinds of things that you would see if you had this thing for your family, this feeling or this physical thing or whatever it is. It could be a vacation. Kinds of things you would see, the people you would see, what you would smell or taste, if anything, what you would touch, if anything. What it would be like to have this thing, and setting your intention that you desire this thing to draw near to you. And then begin pulling up that bucket from that well, pulling that bucket up, 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 taking that bucket and holding it close within. Now it's, after you've taken this bucket off of the well, it's within your energy field as you hold the bucket. Feel what it's like to actually have it be right there. And I want you to go over to another set of flowers. And notice the kind of flower it is, or the color that the flower is, or both. And I want you to very lovingly and gently take this bucket and water those flowers, which symbolize what it is that you desire. And we're going to ask that Source, that your guides give you the sign of this flower, the color of this flower, as a signpost as you get closer to this thing that you desire. And these flowers, after you water them, immediately look more vibrant and more fragrant and beautiful. And you take that bucket once again with gratefulness in your heart. We go back to the wishing well, and you reattach the bucket and again lower it down into the water. And the bucket hits the water and again gets submerged. And this time you think of something that you want for the world, for the planet in this coming year. What your intentions are, and it could be health for people on this earth. It could be the health of the planet. Could be a sense of togetherness with friends and family for all. Could be healing and wisdom. Could be kindness and generosity to one another. Could be a connectedness from this whole experience that we've gone through. Could be a sense of freedom to do whatever it is that you desire and want. Could be a sense of well-being. Just envision that now. Could be celebration. And I want you to let that thing, that aspect of what it is that you desire for the planet, be in that bucket within the wishing well. And again, you're going to draw up that bucket, pulling on that rope, and it comes up, up, up. And you take the bucket off of the wishing well, and you hold this thing within your energy field, close to you within the bucket. Feel what it's like to have it right here. And I want you to take this bucket to another set of flowers within your beautiful garden, a symbol of your heart. And notice what kind of flowers they are, or what color they are. And I want you to gently and lovingly water these flowers. And we ask that Source, your guides, give you the sign of this flower or color of flower as we are on this journey toward this healing of everyone on this planet and this planet Earth. And now that you have your garden watered, these 3 sets of flowers watered, within your heart, I want you to imagine that there's this sort of, magical irrigation system that also waters the rest of the garden, watering every aspect of your life for growth. And right away, all the plants become even more beautiful and fragrant, asking that whatever should come in for our highest good, highest benefit, that it does in the next year, things that, miracles and wonderful things that we might not have even imagined come to fruition within the garden of our lives, the garden of our heart. Look out over these beautiful magical garden, this beautiful magical garden. How fragrant, how beautiful, how lush. And just take a moment to feel safe within it. You're totally safe here. Totally blessed. This garden is a place of miracles. This garden is a place of miracles. This garden is a place of miracles. And now that we've integrated in the lessons of 2020 into your heart center, we've planted the seeds or watered the gardens of the desires that you have moving forward. Why don't we thank Spirit for this beautiful time within the gardens of our heart today. Why don't we bless our gardens? Wish blessings upon our gardens and our life. Wish blessings for our family, for our friends. Wish blessings for Mother Earth that we live upon. And then just get centered again within your own body. I'm feeling a lot of this in my heart, like I feel such a gratefulness within my heart. And just notice that. And we set the intention that we take this with us, that these experiences are symbolic of our heart center, and of course, we carry this with us. And I want you to walk toward the gate and exit through the gate and back down along the path. Take a couple of breaths, bringing oxygen in and filling your lungs and breathing out easily, with ease and grace. Feeling your presence within your body more and more, and you can begin wiggling fingers and wiggling your toes and bring your consciousness back. Oh, that was nice. Thank you so much for joining me today. You might want to write down each of the colors and what they were symbolic of so that you don't forget. So when you get signs, you remember. So again, we did your life purpose, your livelihood, and then we did your family, and then we did Earth and the planet and society itself. So you might want to just write those down and keep somewhere special for you that you can, so that when these flowers come up, you can be reminded. All right, I hope you enjoyed that today. I know I did. Thank you so much. Be well.